Alright guys, welcome back. We've got almost the maximum amount of fights. The maximum amount of fights that I could possibly do in a single war with two accounts in the same battle group is 19. And I've done 15. So a few short, but a lot of fights. So I did speed up a lot of them so that you can see all of them. I had I think over 40 minutes of footage down to 20 to try and get them all in for you. So 15 fights in about 20 minutes. So path 1, we're going to start with Gladiator. And nothing too exciting here about Gladiator. I did go with Void over Viv, just on the off chance I do get clipped by his special 2. It puts Incinerates on, and Void is Incinerate immune, and he can pretty much handle this node no problem, and my evades on his special 2 were on point, so nothing too exciting. I did let him throw a special 1 there, which is obviously not great because he got the Unstoppable, but Void made pretty quick work of Gladiator here. Now, the second fight of the war was already one that I've died to previously this season. Viv against this Bishop here, Masochism, Vigorous Assault. Now, I did have, I think, an invulnerability boost on, and it is going to help me out here. But I am going to try and let him hit into my phase and let him try to control his power as best I can. But there I get a parry instead of the phase, and he is unblockable. There goes my invulnerability boost, and at this point I was not anticipating a solo. I'm just going to be honest. I'm like, okay, this is not going to be great. Now, he is global, so he has the global power gain, but I did have the heal block on, but right there, I miss because I did not have a heal block on, and it was the tail end of the global power gain. So that is like managing that your heal block so that it's on when that power gain is on, because when that power gain is on, the opponent can't, then there's a chance for you to miss. But if you have a heal block on, then you can't miss. There's an unblockable special 1. Now here, remember, now he's got that power gain, and I don't have the heal block on, so I let him gain to a special 2, and I actually get a nice clean evade on that special 2. And then I go back to trying to pound him with some special 1s here. I get my medium ending combo. I get my heal block back on. I can block this special 1 here. Now, a couple times in this fight, I don't know if it was just by chance, but I did not have, he didn't trigger his, his incinerate mode after the special 1, so I got a little bit lucky there. But we're almost dead, and somehow we managed to get through that with a solo. So that just is going to kill me potion-wise for the rest of the war, but happy to get the solo there. Next up, we got Path 3. We're going to start off with Guillotine 2099. I brought in Deathless King Groot. He's immune to the power burn here. He's still going to get special locked, so I am going to try and build to 2 bars of power. Then I kind of have to dance around, wait for the special lock to disappear, and then throw a big special 2. She does get that Spectre on her special 2, but that's okay. So here, I'm going to go ahead, parry, drop a big special 2. That's going to take off almost half her health right there. And then I'm just going to try and do the same thing again, build to a special 2, and try and, nuke her down with that last special 2. So here, unfortunately, I do get clipped there. I forgot about the Digi-Cloak there for a second. But now I get to my 2 bars, wait for that special lock to disappear. I can't lose power on her special 1. Drop that special 2. I do parry to remove her regen, and then a couple more parries and some hits, and she's done. Same thing with this Venom. I go in with Deathless King Groot just because, one, he's bleed immune if I do get hit with his special, and he can get special locked, but he cannot get power burned. So that power burn damage from Venom, of course, he procs the armor up, because there's a chance that he doesn't. You could go in there and he doesn't proc an armor up, and you're fine. But as soon as he procs that armor up, which on this node he probably is going to, you're going to take power burn damage unless you have someone that is power burn immune, or can remove the armor ups. So again, same idea as the first fight there. We're just going to go ahead, build to our special 2, wait for the special lock to disappear, we've got like 7 Furies here, so I'm building up my power, and I'm just going to wait it out. Going to go ahead and parry special 2. Tons of damage there. Look at the incinerates are taking away nicely. So happy with that, and this fight went particularly well. And next up, we've got in section 2, first we're going to do this Guardian with Magneto. I've done this type of stuff before. It's Thorns, and we just did, like, I think I did a Guardian even in my last war. I don't know if I included it or not. Sometimes Magneto fights can be pretty boring. It's a lot of just parry heavy. On this note, I don't want to go with regular hits. I don't want to chance it that I get a bleed, even though the bleed and shocks I will be 90% resistant to. There's increased bleeds on the node, so if I do get a bleed on me, I don't want to take that extra damage. So I'm just going to stick with parry heavies, keep it safe, reduce the ability accuracy chance with the parries, and just build to a special 3 and let it rip, and let the bleeds do their thing. There we go. We're at a full yellow bar still. Get him down to 24. Nice clean evade. And we finish with a full yellow bar. Very nice. Next, before we do that white tiger in section 3, I jump over to section 1 again. We got Viv against this Man-Thing. Definitely Viv because of the poisons. And again, global attacker here, so I'm just going to keep my heal blocks on as much as I can, so always medium ending combos to keep the passive heal block active. And then I'm going to drop my special 2, and then as always I'm going to go ahead and try and get to a bar of power while Man-Thing is below a bar of power, so that you get unblockable specials, you get some power back, and Man-Thing doesn't gain any power while you are throwing your special 1. Obviously, he can gain some power from the node, but there we go. Clean fight there with Viv. Now, I usually use Viv for this buffet node, but Magneto with the magnetism, I did not want to try that. So we go in with Void. The only thing I have to watch out for here is once I get my debuffs on, you can't get rid of them, so that'll be fine. It's that unblockable that I forgot about, that every like 10 regen charges, he's going to be unblockable. So I have to be aware of that throughout the fight. Also have to be aware of the global power gain. Once that was on, then I will have a chance to miss unless I can get 5 debuffs that will then trigger a heal block. So there's my passive heal block. The other thing that I have up there is just a heal prevention. It is not a heal block. It does not count for the global. It doesn't counter the miss. You need an actual heal block, or else like that again I hit into him while he had that power gain passive, and even though I'm managing his power gain, I still can't hit into him consistently unless I have a heal block on. So right now I have that. I have a passive heal block, so I am able to hit into him again. I do get clipped by 1 special 1, take a little bit of bleed damage, but then we finish it off nicely. Now we've got some mini action. This was my one mistake, or big mistake of the war. It is a difficult fight. I've been getting better at Viv against Photon. I did it on Buffet previously, and especially with Photon being the Summer of Suffering fight, I have been getting much better at doing this, but I do get myself into a little bit of trouble here. The beginning of the fight is great. I get my special 2 off. I manage her charges so that I'm knocking her, like she's at 10 charges now, and she's at 11. I'm going to go ahead, let her throw that special 1. And now I throw my special ones, triggers her pure light. She can't get any power while I'm throwing my special 1. I get half of her health down. I'm at, or less than half. Now I just have to wait out her pure light charges before I continue the second half of the fight. And the second half just doesn't go well for me. So I go ahead, and remember, I have to remember that I could parry, put on, like parry, hit in, parry, and when I have the heal block on, I'm not going to miss even if she goes invisible. Unfortunately, I get clipped by that special 1, and at this point I'm stuck in the corner. I throw my special 2 to get away from the corner, but she's at 12 charges. Now she's in pure light, and I am screwed. So that was not my best performance, but the first half of the fight was good. If I have to do it again next war, I will try and replicate at least that first half, and then have a good second half and try and get the solo. So here we go in, and we don't even play like really that well, but we do manage to get it down with just the one death. So again, we've had some very tough wars. We've sometimes as an alliance we've moved up from like tier 3 to tier 2, and when you do that, or let's say platinum 3 trying to get into platinum 2, you do end up facing some tougher alliances, and you're going to need to be on your A game, and it is really hard sometimes when the other team just is plowing through your defense. It is rough. Here we got an Incinerate, Poison, Hazard Shift. We're going to do this one with Void. Again, I forgot at the beginning of the fight that Adam Warlock can go unblockable in the block, which is not my finest moment there. But here, while he's in the Poison phase, we're just going to hit into his block and let our intimidating debuffs apply over time there. Go ahead and drop some special ones during the Incinerate phase, get some hits in there, and then again back into the Poison phase. So we'll just bait that special one and not counter it. Just try and get him to turtle up, hit into his block. Poison phase is back, so again trigger a nice heavy counter. Drop another special one, and again a few hits in there, but now we're back in the Poison phase. So again, wait for him to turtle up, hit into his block. We are approaching the end of the fight here, where he is going to go into that stasis pod, so I have to be aware of that as well. I see stasis pod incoming, so I back away. And again, another special one. I throw like one hit and a special one in there, and we finish it. And then we also have this Mangog. I think it's Note 46, the one with the unblockable special 2s. I've done this one with Doc Ock a million times. It's one of my favorite fights. Even as a global defender, we want to get that heal block on, so we get it by reapplying 5 power locks, and then we get ourselves the triple debuff with the 2 power locks and the heal block. And now with Doc Ock, when you have those debuffs on, you are siphoning back a part of the power and healing that Mangog would have received because you're heal blocking and power locking him. So that's why I'm able to cycle back to a bunch of special 2s. I don't even think I've got a power. I don't even have a power boost on this one, and I just absolutely shred him. All right, now we're gonna go back to that White Tiger fight in Path 3, Section 2. Cassie Lang time. I have a maxed out Cassie Lang. Cassie Lang is great because as a global, you need like 5 debuffs in order to start applying the global. And you can just hold, like you can shrink down, let the opponent hit into you, and you can actually end up applying a whole whack of power stings right away. And if you do that, it immediately gives you the heal block, which will help you continuously counter that passive power gain. But again, lots of debuffs in a very easy fashion from Cassie. And so here, I'm not super familiar with White Tiger's animations in terms of trying to like heavy counter, like to shrink down and heavy counter her specials. There, I get a special 2, get a nice striker in there. I back away from her special 2 because she does so much on it, and I didn't want to get clipped at all from that. So I did play a little extra cautious on this one. Again, just because I'm not as familiar with the animations, but we get through it great. Next is a Wong, I think on 42 here, and this is the make a stand and one eye open. So you can't, any damage you do with a parry is going to, when they're stunned, is going to be reflected back onto you, and you can't do any damage. There, my invulnerability boost disappears there. Again, not the best spacing. And there it goes. I get clipped one more time. Now I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. So I managed to shrink down at the end of his special 1, and I'm able to knock him down. Once I'm able to knock him down, I can get my full damage in. But I cannot parry. The goal is not to parry here with Cassie. I can get my hits in after special 1s. I can go ahead and shrink down and apply a whole bunch of power stings. And that is my goal here, to not have to do this fight without any parries. So that is what I'm trying to do, and the longer the fight goes, the better I am at heavy countering his special one, even some heavies there, into a striker, into a, ideally I want a medium ending combo to apply a poison, which will extend the duration of the power stings. That as well, I don't do that, I think, as much in this particular fight, but here, again, I'm able to just counter the special ones, and I am a little bit cautious of when he is going to trigger the unstoppable. So I have to be careful if I try to normally just shrink down, that if he throws a heavy, it is going to trigger an unstoppable. So I get into a really nice groove here of him throwing special ones, keeping 9 to 12 power stings up, I think, for the majority of the fight. If he gets close to 100 charges, I want to make sure I heavy counter him anyways to bring it back down to 0, and we clean up that fight really, really nicely. Next up, we've got a Baron Zemo on the missing in action power efficiency and feats of vigilance. This one triggers a falter on you the majority of the time, but because of Magneto and the magnetism, we are immune to, like, he can't to miss, so I don't have to worry about the falter. So I used to do a lot of Zemo fights, so I'm pretty comfortable with countering his special one with a heavy and countering his heavy attack with a heavy. And he's just going to be throwing a lot of specials in this fight. It wasn't my greatest fight at the end of it, to be honest. I just need to build up to a special 3 as fast as possible. I could have not thrown some heavies there and actually just done some hits into him there. Unfortunately, I'm getting rocked in the corner, so I quickly I take it a combo to the face, charge up to like 34 prowess. It's the last fight I need Magneto for. So even though I was getting rocked, I get my special 3 off. We get 40 bleeds and he melts. Now I got 2 nice fights here at the very end. We got a Destroyer on Stunning Reflection, Polka Dot Power, and Brute Force. We are going to do this one with Cassie. Now, I did do some practice on this, that if he goes in with his Unstoppable there, I can still go ahead and heavy counter with my miss. I'm going to hold block, bait heavies, try to push to special 2. That is my goal here. Get as many power stings on him as I can to bypass, to get that heal block to bypass the global. And because he was like a Summer of Suffering fight, I'm pretty comfortable with baiting his heavies and special 2s. The only thing I'm going to do twice in this fight is accidental parries. And those accidental parries are just going to watch me get rocked over and over again, but because I am Cassie Lang, I am actually quite a tanky champion and can take a lot of hits and keep on ticking. So here with Destroyer, I'm just trying to bait, again, trying to push him to special 2. I have my passive heal block on because I keep applying the power stings. I did use the Ant-Man relic with Cassie to help apply more power stings, which are helping, I think, for the node as well, and just in general getting as much damage in on Destroyer as possible. So we're doing extremely well, but there are going to be a couple times where I accidentally parry and I just take a boatload of damage to the face. So there was an accidental, like probably even an accidental reparry, plus the brute force started kicking in, so that wasn't great, but luckily I make it through and I'm able to continue. And again, the same idea the whole way through. Don't want to intercept him because of his Unstoppable. There, I was taking a little too long, and sometimes the opponent just doesn't want to come into you when you're shrinking down. But there, I managed to go ahead and get as much damage in as possible. He does throw a special 1, which is not the end of the world, but not ideal for me. I get another heavy off. And even here, I'm just going to keep getting in as much damage as possible. Shrink down, get off another heavy, make sure that I am getting a little bit close to the end. I accidentally parry a second time. I take a boatload of damage. Luckily, I can bait the special 2s and another heavy, and we somehow get out of this one. I was thrilled. Okay, and then I'm going to take an Ebony Maw boss, just pound those potions back onto Cassie, and then go completely nuts on this Ebony Maw. Now, I am buff immune, so I don't have to worry about that task, like that mission from from Maw, and I'm going to consistently be knocking Maw down, at least after the beginning of this fight. So because I'm going to be consistently knocking Maw down with heavies, I am not going to have to worry too much about the falter timer. And I actually think I was knocking Maw down so many times with heavies that I didn't even realize that that I was keeping that timer at bay the entire fight. And also, because Maw is not poison immune, I can, like Destroyer, then I can keep applying poisons as much as I want, as long as I've got a Pim particle charge from shrinking down. Then I can do a light ending combo to apply a poison, and then I can do special ones to apply the taunt, and then he just keeps throwing special after special after special, building up. I've got like 24 power stings on at the moment, which is absolutely fantastic. 27 power stings there. Another special one. Put that taunt on. Make him throw another one. And if he's throwing specials as nice as he is just taking more and more damage. And Cassie was an absolute gem in this war. I managed to get the boss solo here. I hope I didn't talk your ear off too much in this war. I know 15 fights is a lot, and you're never going to find more fights in a single war than on this channel, I believe. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.